Are you ready to hear a story that is whispered on all the seas of the world, from the holds of cargo ships to the luxurious salons of ocean liners? A story not about what we know, but about what we only sense. This is a story about phantoms. About ghost ships that cut through the waves in the fog of time, about crews that disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only a chill of inexplicable horror. The bright day denies their existence, but in the darkness of night, when the wind howls in the rigging, even the biggest skeptics begin to listen. Our journey begins in the heart of the planet's most mysterious waters, the Bermuda Triangle. The year is 1918. The Cyclops, a mighty U.S. Navy cargo ship, over 180 meters long, with 300 souls on board, sets sail from Barbados to Baltimore. And disappears. It disappears mercilessly and absolutely. No distress signal, no wreckage, no bodies. The most extensive searches yield nothing. President Woodrow Wilson would say, "Only God and the sea know what happened to that huge ship." But is that explanation enough? The Cyclops became the first high-profile disappearance that opened the gate for many others. Flight 19, 5 bombers that suddenly lost their orientation, the Star Tiger, the Meridian. The list goes on. Official versions: storms, methane emissions, technical malfunctions. But why are no wreckage found? As if someone or something is covering its tracks. Now let's move to the other end of the world, to the Davis Strait off the coast of Greenland. The year is 1931. The German research vessel Zeppelin encounters what would later be called the modern Flying Dutchman, the schooner Bachimo. An icy prison had squeezed it, but could not break it. When the Zeppelin's crew boarded, they were met by a dead silence. The tables were set as for a meal, personal belongings lay in the cabins, a cold kettle stood on the stove. Only one thing was missing: there was not a single living soul on board. Where did the crew disappear to? Why did they leave an intact, habitable ship? The military who examined the Bachimo found no answer. The schooner later mysteriously disappeared from sight and from all archives. As if it had never existed. These stories are just the tip of the iceberg. The legends of the Flying Dutchman, a cursed ship doomed to sail the seas until the Second Coming, have lived for centuries. It has been seen, people have sworn to it. Even Prince George, the future King of Great Britain, in his 1881 ship's log, described in detail an encounter with a ghost ship glowing with red light. These are no longer tales of old sailors, these are documented testimonies. This is where the mysteries and conspiracy theories are born. What if this is not a coincidence, but a pattern? What if the Bermuda Triangle is not just a danger zone, but a kind of gateway activated under certain conditions? Conspiracy theorists are convinced these could be experiments with portals, remnants of Atlantis technology, or else hunting. Hunting for ships and aircraft to collect samples. Recall the incident with the Eldridge and the Philadelphia experiment. Was the military not trying to create a stealth technology that led to the ship's teleportation and terrible consequences for the crew? Officially, this is denied, but the shadows of doubt remain. Perhaps the Cyclops and its brethren in misfortune became accidental victims of such failed tests? Analyzing these facts, it is hard not to ask a fundamental question: is the sea what we think it is? We perceive it as a water road, a source of resources. But what if it is also a giant, living archive, a place of memory where time flows differently? Physicists talk about anomalies in the magnetic field, about rogue killer waves as high as a 30-story building that appear out of nowhere. Oceanographers talk about unexplored seabed territories where biological or geological phenomena may be hiding, capable of instantly destroying metal structures. But are all explanations exhausted by this? Why are disappearances so often accompanied by reports of strange lights, failures of navigation instruments, and violations of the laws of physics? The philosophical conclusion of this story lies upon us like a cold sea breeze. The phantoms of the seas are not just horror stories. They are a reminder. A reminder that our civilization, with all its technology and arrogance, is still sailing on the surface of an abyss, the depths of which we have not even begun to comprehend. They show the fragility of the human mind in the face of what does not fit into its paradigm. Every lost ship, every Flying Dutchman is a question posed to us by the ocean itself: how well do you really understand the world you live in? Perhaps these phantoms are not ghosts of the past, but messengers of the future. Hints that there are other levels of reality, other dimensions, which we occasionally collide with but are unable to comprehend. They leave us not with an answer, but with a sense of grandeur and horror before the unknown. And, listening to the whisper of the waves, we understand that the true mystery is not where the ships disappeared. The true mystery is what was waiting for them. And is it not waiting for us too? This silence is thicker than any fog. It is not just the absence of sound, it is an active devouring of noise, a devouring of life. The radio on the command bridge suddenly crackles to life, spewing fragments of old distress signals distorted by spacetime. Compass needles spin wildly, driven magnetically insane in this zone of oblivion. It is as if the veil between worlds grows thin here, allowing echoes of past tragedies to bleed into our reality. Are these ships trapped forever in a temporal loop, forced to relive their final moments for eternity? Or are they messengers, trying to warn us, turn back? Go no further. You are not welcome here. The sea has always kept its secrets well, but these phantom vessels seem to be its most deliberate and terrifying enforcers. Consider the sheer scale of these mysteries. The SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a 160-meter T2 tanker, vanished in 1963 with 39 crew members near the Florida Keys. The official inquiry suggested a catastrophic structural failure, yet no debris field consistent with such an event was ever found. Similarly, the Freya, a German racing yacht discovered drifting near the Azores in 2004, showed no signs of struggle or reason for abandonment. The crew's personal belongings remained undisturbed, their meals half-eaten, as if they had simply evaporated from the deck. What force could make experienced mariners abandon ship without even launching lifeboats? What phenomenon can erase a modern vessel from existence while leaving no trace? The patterns are too consistent to ignore. From the 19th century to the 21st, from wooden schooners to steel-hulled giants, the ocean claims them all with the same mysterious finality. Perhaps we've been asking the wrong questions. Instead of wondering what destroys these ships, we should consider what might be preserving them. What if the disappearances aren't endings, but transitions? Ancient mariners spoke of cursed waters where ships could sail into other realms. Modern theoretical physics allows for the possibility of quantum vortices or gravitational anomalies, natural phenomena that could theoretically create temporary bridges between dimensions.